Dear ladies and gentlemen, welcome to today's webinar, 3D Survey webinar, 5 tricks for creating survey maps in 3D Survey. So this webinar is super technical. If you're already creating survey maps in 3D Survey or extracting data like vector lines, points, and similar stuff from 3D Survey to other softwares, this is the perfect webinar for you. If you're still not working with a 3D Survey software and you're looking for a solution which handles photogrammetry data, drone data, LiDAR, SLAM data, I don't know, GNSS, combining all together and create CAT-ready results, this is another perfect webinar for you also. Okay, today with you, Mattia Zupan.
Hi.
Mattia, feel free to say hello to the team, to all
Yeah.
others.
Hello, dear attendees. I think today you're into a very nice, quick webinar with just a few punchy information that can speed up your workflow. And I think you'll find it very informative.
Thank you, Mattia. Okay, and me, Marko Meseric, I'm product manager at 3D Survey and would love to present you these special tricks. Maybe you still don't know uh, how to handle with those one in 3D Survey, and you will learn something new today. Okay, we have a short today's plan, what we would like to present it, and this is definitely point number one, plane lock with perpendiculars, a super powerful feature which was released two versions behind, and I believe it's great to present you again to remember you how it works because it's kind of a combination of functions, combination of steps, but it's super powerful. So then point number two, you have option to draw a line with distance input in 3D Survey. Again, super powerful solution by connecting survey plans in case you don't have a perfect data, perfect point cloud, perfect mesh, and maybe you measured some distance on a field with your disto or a measuring tape, and you can integrate this later in 3D Survey. Then we would like to repeat how the height transform for curb connection works. We are having on a monthly base event with our customers worldwide, and we are constantly getting questions. Hey, is this possible? Is that possible? In some cases, the questions are super easy, the answers are super easy, functions are available in the software, but of course, it's just too much for the users. If you are not working on a daily basis with 3D Survey, you forget how it works. You maybe didn't even know that exists this in 3D Survey. And this is one of the important feature I would like to also show you. Then point number four, with the last version 4.2, we release a ground orthophoto, a survey mentality design orthophoto, where we are looking the mesh not from top-down view, but from bottom up, and you will see what this can bring to you workflows. And then Zupan Mattia will take over and show you our corner tools. How can you work with this? How can you speed your process generating a survey map in 3D Survey? And of course, also cat to mesh, which is also not the newest feature, but we would like to show you if you still didn't see this one, if you that you know how to use it, in which cases you use it, and all this stuff. Mattia, would you like to add anything before we continue with the topic?
Well, just before we continue, let's repeat that this session is going to be recorded. You'll get the recording into your email. It will be there on our website and on our YouTube channel, so you can see it later. And don't forget, you can ask us questions at the end of our topics. We will go over your questions and answer them one by one. So take advantage of this and work with us while we're here.
Very good. Thank you, Mattia, for adding this. The total webinar time should be 45 minutes. So yes, If there are questions, please write them immediately in the question box, and after the webinar, we will go one by one and answer those questions. Okay? And okay, let's open my first project where I would like to show you a plane lock function and how you can extract out detail you need to extract it for a survey map. Mattia, can you just confirm it? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, it's looking very nice.
Okay, very good. So here we have 5 blocks of apartments. So the surveying company mapped those blocks with the help of drone mapping. I can show you also the cameras. They use the oblique mission option at the end. I think the flying height was here 40 meters. And this is really important if you're doing oblique, fly a bit lower because when the camera is turned to 45 degrees, if you fly on 40 meters, you have probably 60, 70, or even 80 meters to the object. So this is nice to know. After they finish with the oblique, they add a single circle around it to add additional things. And that's it. Okay, just a quick intro. And this was mapped because they need to create a survey map, how they built everything up. Okay, and it's from another side. It's a nice example that still everything it's not finished, and we all know, all surveyors know, construction companies know, when you need to measure the cat boundary, so the cat line for the building, you need to measure where the first floor is going to the earth, and we can see they will still need to add some earth here in addition, but with the photogrammetry we can create those maps even already now. And how to do it? Usually the floor plan of the building, uh, actually the footprint on the building needs to be on a height where the entryway is. And for this building is exactly here, and how I will do it. So first I create here my layer, which is now active buildings. First I will take a simple point tool, draw point tool, and I will move to my entryway, and I can see the height here is 300.722 meters. I will just click and set my entryway point
So
height,
this is
and
for the height, right?
this is for defining the height exactly. And then we have here on the right side define plane option. So I will click to start this option, and I will snap to this point which I created and click one left click, and I immediately create a horizontal surface. If I would continue clicking more points, the surface will be recalculated based on my selected points. If I select just a single point, this plane is perfectly horizontal, and this is exactly what I need. That's why I will go here back on the same button and click confirm plane. And now you see this plane is going to be a green one, it's fixed, and everything what I'm going to connect out with my cat line, it will be snapped exactly to the plane height. Okay, I have the right layer. I will go and take my draw line tool. I don't need point on the vertex. If I would like to have it, I could have it maybe later on. And I can start with my first corner. If my first corner, so I don't need to snap now and figure it out where is this exact height, because even if I go up here, you will see we are snapping down to the plane. Watch now, left mouse click, immediately I start connecting. You see where the line is attaching. Okay, let's go here. I have another good corner. So upper on a height of 2 meters of the building, it's easier for me. And you see it's snapping on the exact height I need to have it. I would like to have it. And now this building is a new one. It's kind of perpendicular building when they built, I'm 100% sure. I can use additional feature. So after I define my first line, I can press F8 on my keyboard, or I go Object UCS. So it's fully the same, F8 or Object UCS, and you see the plane line now rotated exactly aligned with my first line. And now I can go easily here down the second path of my building. And because here is the window, you see the building facade is 10 centimeters away from the window, which is fully normal. And what I can do, I can use my corner up here, or even more accurate, I can snap on another plane of the building and define the line of this front side of the building with help of this. So even if I click here with my left mouse click, you see I finished line exactly on the same distance I would like to have it. And this way I can go and continue here. So another nice spot is here where I can see the mesh is nicely defined. Okay, like so. Then I can go inside, and because those balconies are always tricky and need to be quite low to capture the corner which is inside. In this case, maybe I could even have a right distance on my mesh, and I could continue using the way I showed you before. The another option is I actually measure the distance here with my measuring tape, and I believe the distance here was 2.4 meters. And what I can do, I can just show the direction of the line and type 2.4 on my keyboard and press enter. And you see, I finish my line exactly on 2.5 meters. So the length of the line you can see down here, okay, in a lower right corner. So you can actually draw all the lines also with the distance input. This was released in a previous version, super nice feature. And then next, what I can do, I can again extend this line to my building facade, or another option, I can go out and activate my end snapper line or something like that. So if I go to my last snapper, you see now it's green, and I will probably get the green suggestion. You see how far out I need to go, like here, to get the exact line that the end line will snap perfectly with with my first vertex. I could
Perfect.
always turn off the F8, so going out from the perpendicular or F8 back to go back to perpendicular, not a problem in case the building is not perpendicular. And in this case, I can finish my building footprint perfectly easy with the plane lock, perpendicular, and line distance input.
Feels like cheating compared to the classic approach.
Yes, exactly. So even if construction companies were not too accurate enough, you can make it accurate. Okay, functions are there. It just depends how you use them. Okay, this is just my first building. In this way, I can continue my next building. So I would reset my plane, search for the entryway of the second object, this one here, define plane, activate plane, confirm plane, start drawing with the first. Okay, up here, I can also do it like that. Okay, F8, of course, no, go to perpendiculars, bam, bam, and that's it. Second one is finished, and continue like so. If you have some different buildings, so the maybe older buildings which are not perpendicular, just ignore the perpendicularity and you can continue doing everything else. Okay, this was my first point actually. Now, usually we need also to measure a wider area of the construction site because here, as we see, also new roads were built and everything like that. And let's take a closer look. Okay, sir, this is the fully standard approach where we have also curbs And to get the 3D model of a curves perfectly, it's super difficult. You would need to fly on 5 or 10-meter height that you get the perfect one, the most accurate one. But even if you don't have that one, so that the curve is not fully perpendicular up, and so we have a nice tool to handle this situation also. Maybe before I go into it, as you can see, I'm drawing everything based on my full 3D mesh. Of course, if I would like to draw it based on point cloud, I could do this easily also. But in this case, I calculate the point cloud on medium, not even high level. And in most cases, point cloud is more noisy than mesh, because with the new algorithm, we improve this much, really much. And so I suggest you maybe try to extract your lines based on full 3D mesh. And
Maybe another trick here, you could also show the texture compression.
okay, if you need, thank you, Mattia. If you need even more detail on texture, we do that by default. We do the texture compression that we actually make the easier processing for your graphic card. But if you have a powerful graphic card like 4060, something like that, you can easily go right mouse click on the mesh, texture compression, and select it off. No, the new textures, it's created without the compression, and you see it's
The
even
lines
more
are much
realistic.
smoother.
Yes, exactly. So results is much nicer even to that. Okay, and now with my second thing I would like to show you today, let's go back to cat, take the layer road, curve, line, and in this time I will take also point and vertex with name and height, and what I can do it here. So if I click here, for example, where I would like to have my position, for the curve, the problem is the height is not the right one. Okay, we have definitely here 2-3 centimeters of error or something like that. And how we can quickly solve this with our tool, what I can do, so I can go a bit away from the curve, like 20 centimeters. So you can see the height here, it's written 337.6. If I go here, we have 44, so this is kind of a 6-7 centimeters. And if I go here like 20 centimeters away, I can press the Q button on a keyboard. So as soon as I press the Q button and hold it, the software creates a quick plane for me, as you can see it. And I hold my Q button and I position my mouse to the location I would like to have point and line. So Q, left mouse click. Press Q, hold it, press left mouse click. Q, hold it, left mouse click. Q, hold it, left mouse click. Like this way, okay? And with this approach, you can see we create actually the line with points under the mesh, and we actually transform the perfect height for our curve, actually. Let me see. You see, the all blue points were here measured traditionally to check the accuracy. And if you see, if we quickly check, here we have 332, here is 333, 329. So we are centimeter away or even less, fully independent. And I just did it for first time, this control. Okay, so you see how accurate can you be with the photogrammetry also in these cases. Okay,
And if you want it to be even more accurate, you could also lock the height on the control point and go from there, right?
exactly, not a problem. Okay, cool. So those were my 2 points. First one, plane lock with perpendicular and line distance input. The second one, height transfer with a quick plane, Q on a keyboard. And my third point is the ground orthophoto which was already presented already in a What's New webinar because it was released with the latest version 4.1. And in this case, I would also like to show you where you can find to calculate this out and what it brings to you. Okay, and okay, as you can know, uh, we calculate the true orthophoto with the help of full 3D mesh. We have the result of full 3D mesh here. And if I calculate the orthophoto, the ordinary one, this is my result. Okay, so we see the building roofs on the right positions, corners are hidden, of course, trees are all on the right positions, and if there is something under the trees, you can't see it on orthophoto. And because half of our team in 3D Survey are surveyors, we know what you needed and what benefits you can get with this. We design a ground orthophoto feature in the last version, and if I turn this one on, the ground orthophoto looks like that. So as you can see, before there was a tree like that. With the ground orthophoto, we see what's beneath the trees and actually also what's beneath the roofs and everything like that. And if you need to vectorize out these 4 points, you can now do it. Okay, again here, another location, trees, no trees. And you see there's always hidden something beneath them. Even here, so this is a traditional, this is the true orthophoto, and this is a ground orthophoto. This actually it is exactly corner of the building if you need to get it out. So it's a bit similar to the orthophoto we were doing right at the beginning of 3D survey story. We called this before traditional orthophoto where you damage the buildings, put the roofs together and you get the building footprints or building facade or building corners. Now, when you're doing or oblique mapping, this is much more difficult. But with the ground orthophoto, it's even easier now. Okay, and okay, I will leave it my presentation with that on this stage, and give the word to Mattia to continue ground orthophoto and two other strong features which we would like to show today. So, Mattia, feel free to take it over.
Okay, thank you, Marco, and thanks for this great introduction. And yes, as Marco promised, I have another case of ground orthophoto for you. Let me just share my screen with you. This one is the right one. Okay, Marco, do you see
Yes,
that?
we can. I can confirm we can see it.
All right. So this is the 3D model of another building. It's now in ortho top-down view mode. And as you can see, there's a parking lot, and a lot of it is hidden under this tree. And there is this roof. Well, maybe you don't even know it's a roof. But if we leave the locked orthophoto view and go from the side, I can show you a lot of it is hiding under this roof. Go in. Well, one thing to mention here is this was thoroughly mapped, so we flew very low and the camera angle was almost perpendicular horizontally. So that's how you get this amazing features mapped even under the roof. See, you can even tell there's a bike here. If if we flew a bit closer, you could even count the gears and measure the fork travel height. Just kidding.
It's definitely
So
super detailed.
yeah, definitely super detailed. But what I wanted to say, there is a whole parking lot underneath here. And if we go to orthophoto, we can't see it because it's hidden completely under this roof. And that's where ground orthophoto comes in. Now let me switch. See, now we can actually see the whole orthophoto. It will make some of the views unpleasant, but when you're there to gather the information like curb of this sidewalk, the lines of this parking lot, you don't care how the cars or the roof looks. And also here, let's see the before and after. This tree, if we took enough pictures horizontally, we get a lot of information underneath. And now I'd like to show you another trick you can derive from that. So now you want to do some vectorization on that. How do you do that? It's not so straightforward maybe, but if you go back to point cloud and classify it, I'm sure you have already used classification on point clouds. If not, it's super easy. Just go here, it's semi-automatic, just a few clicks, and you get this. So I got my ground, and out of that, I calculate my surface DSM, so digital surface model, which looks like this, like this. So this is just the elevation model of our ground. And what do we want? Because we don't have a texture on it, we can't really see much, but we can do something about it. We can drape an orthophoto over it. So just select the mesh, select the orthophoto you want to drape, and when you click calculate, exactly this will happen. Now our ground orthophoto is draped on this surface model, and we got practically 3D orthophoto. And what is the main benefit here? Now we can just simply go to CAD tab and do the vectorization, draw all the lines. Well, as you can see, I've already done that. Just create your layers, make them active, and um, go crazy with all those lines. It's super simple. And as another bonus, there is also drawing on images helper here. So you can be super precise on that and place your points where you need to place them. And it will all snap on the surface like that. Well, this one wasn't so difficult to vectorize before because it was in plain sight, but these couldn't be done with the classic orthophoto. If we look at them, for example, in the orthophoto tab, now you can see them all. I mean, now you can also see all the CAD works, but they are actually hidden under roof and tree. So this was, I think, quite groundbreaking story. Ground orthophoto, really useful where you need your information that is normally hidden under roofs and trees. Okay, so
Okay.
now a bit of a different story. My second case, this is the
Very good.
third case.
Mattia, maybe just a kind reminder before you go to your second case. If there are questions, write your questions in a question box that we can start answering them at the end of the webinar. And yes, Mattia, continue with a great presentation.
Thank you. The next one is more in the scan universe. So the scan module users and advanced users who want to use the full potential of 3Dsurvey. Maybe you have been in a situation lately where you purchased a scanner to do also interiors or something like that. We have done this building, it's actually our headquarters. If it was live, we'd be slicing through us right now. Anyways, we have this for our floor plan. And how do we do a floor plan of a building like this on different levels? Let me show you. Perhaps you already know the X-ray views tools. It's very simple. Just calculate it here, 2 clicks, and you get this. The top down, the right, and the front view. So after you've got this, with the latest version, we've updated it a bit, so it's even more powerful. Let's say I want to do a floor plan of our ground floor. I will take a slice and let's say we go down here. So you cannot see everything very clearly because this is, the whole building. The whole building flattened in this side direction and all the lines are crossing each other, and that's similar on the top down view. That's why we take slices. So we'll take a top down slice through here and just get enough information for our floor plan of the ground floor. Now I want my vectorization to go on the floor level. And in the last version, we've added the option to uh, escape with this red line, which is vectorization line, outside your yellow bounding box. So why are we taking our info from here and vectorizing down here? Well, because the ground level of any room that's in use, it's usually cluttered with wardrobes, bags, and desks and whatnot. But right beneath the ceiling, there's usually nothing. So this will give us the clearest outline of this floor. Now let's calculate. And this is it. This is our ground floor. Looks pretty nice already, yeah. And the greatest thing that we've added with the scan module, I think, is detect lines, which will make our work all automatic. So let's do this. And here are our lines. It's pretty impressive already, right? We've got all this work done for us, but it's not 100% perfect. And that's what I want to show you now. We go back to CAD, and if you want, you can help yourself with the bounding box a bit. I will. So you see just this floor. Let's zoom in. Okay, now I'll slow down because the platform low frame rate so we can follow. Now, what we want to do here is, you know, fix some errors. So first thing, we will tie together these corners. And that's where intersect tool comes in. Just select it, say line number 1, line number 2, and they're connected. Okay, let's do that here. And let's do that here also. Maybe this one. I'll show you another trick like this. And we have these rooms pretty well done, but what is this? Here you will use the trim tool. So I want to trim this little piece out because this is the wall and that's better. Okay, let's go back to intersect. Yeah, a bit more intersecting. This one with this one. And let's say this one with this one. And how about here? So why are we missing so much here? It's because this room was not scanned very well, so there was no information. How are we going to do this now? Let's try. We can use the extend tool, and we just hover over the line and see where it's going. So this one's going here, and maybe that's not the best one, but we can simply correct it. And now we'll do another trick. We can also, once again, use the plane tool. Let's say we lock our vectorizations. We lock our vectorizations to this height. This could be the first thing I would do. And now we will work with perpendicular lines once more. So if we take this as our guideline and press F8, and now we have our um, uh, coordinate system set up. And let's say I will just draw my line here, draw my line, let's say just here, like that. Okay, and see they are different color, so I can distinguish those two from the ones that were automatically done, but I can change their properties here to be the same as those. Okay, and now I can repeat with the tools I was showing you before. Intersect here, and down there let's use trim. And that's how we can work on these floor plans. It's quite easy, it's quite fast, and you can, of course, export all that work into DXF. If you have multiple layers, you can decide which ones to export and which one to leave out. And yes, that was that. I hope you liked these three tools. And now I have my final trick to show you. But before we jump here, is there any question? I mean, if it is, just write it.
We have some questions, maybe
Yeah.
in a general view, or some were questioned already before. So maybe continue, and we will answer one by one at the end. Okay.
Great. Okay. And now, let's say classic cadastral survey mapping issue that is very much present in a lot of countries, a lot of places. Let's go. So you have your, I gave you a spoiler already. So you're working on your, let me start again. So you have done your field work. You have calculated your 3D mesh and your cloud with 3Dsurvey, and this is quite nice result. But now you want to do survey map, cadastral measurements, and all that stuff. So I want to start with loading my cadastral data, and that's what you often get. Something down there. What is this? It is cadastral data that is 2D. It's all on the height of 0. And this is not what I want. It's fitting my 3D model if I look at it from top down. So on Orthophoto, it will look okay. But, you know, for working in 3D, this is pretty useless. So that's why we added a simple feature. It is best to be used in DSM. So now I'll show you how to calculate one. You classify your point cloud and check your non-ground points. Oh, let me quickly show you the classification because I see this one's not done correctly. So go into classification, click once, twice maybe, here. Okay, next step. It's looking pretty good. If it's not perfect, click recalculate. One more time. Okay, now should be good. Finish. And yes, the roofs are gone, and all I have is this ground. Now, mesh, calculate new DSM. Half a meter is good. Optimized hole filling. Perfect. And this is my surface. Now I want my cadastral input data to be on this level. So this is, if we check out 517, let's go to this regular grid mesh, right click, project CAD to mesh, all the points I have, I mean all the layers, project, and it's there. Now this is perfect. I can start working on this. And once again, another great thing, let me just check this. Another great thing when I'm working with my CAD data is I can now check everything with my images. So, you know, because I flew with my drone around here, I can once again use drawing on images and check every point that I've just imported on the images. So this one's pretty well defined. How about this one? Okay, looking good. Maybe from another angle. Yeah, looking good. How about this road here? Doesn't look so accurate. Yeah, maybe this one. Yeah, maybe don't trust the National Cadastre every time. But that's another topic. That's all I wanted to show you with this trick. Maybe in addition, I would like to remind you that you also have the possibility, if you want to export all your CAD data in a certain elevation, there is also a similar trick you can do. So let me show you. Let's say I need to push all this elevation, all this CAD data, for example, on the elevation of, oh, let's just make up some number, 520. Okay, I placed a new point on my model, 520, and I will place two more points, 100, and define the same height of them. Or, no, I don't even need another 2 points. I will just do new layer. So, and now I will go to this control point, 520, and hold down the Q. So, like this. And now I will draw a rectangle like this. And this is all on the same height now. And I will create another mesh triangulated from this CAD data. Use my new layer. Okay, so this is my plane on 520. And if for some reason I need all my CAD to be on 520, I will just go here on this new mesh, right click, project CAD to mesh, and select all previous CAD that I've had. And now let's watch closely, project, see everything jumped a little higher. And this is how you can manipulate your CAD data. And this is how 3Dsurvey becomes really powerful in the
Mhm.
CAD engine. I hope
Very,
you like this one.
very nice
Fun one.
combination. Probably really advanced one, but definitely you see the potential, you see the opportunities, how to play out, how to roll on this data, how to combine it, because there are every option. It's maybe possible to do it in a two or three different option through the three different ways. And yes, decide it for your one which works for you and enjoy all these features. Definitely. Thank you,
For
Mattia.
example, if you wanted to reverse the last scenario and you need to output your DXF get data on the zero elevation, you can do the same trick as I showed you.
Exactly. And then beside this, you have also transform options. So right
Yeah,
click on the data and transform it to lower for 100 meters or transform to specific height or anything like that. So all this is possible. Also, when you like to export the CAD data, it's ready for you there. Just go save CAD data as DXF, TXT, anything like that. All the standard file formats are covered. And yes, questions are here. Mattia, would you like to add something before we go to the question? We are perfectly on time today.
great. That's something new.
Yeah, that's
uh,
some.
Maybe I can read the questions and you can answer them, so we
Okay,
can work
okay. Let's
efficiently through this.
let's do it that. Yes, let's try me to answer it and feel free. Set me the questions. And yes, you still have some time. We have altogether 10 minutes, I believe, for the questions and answers. So
Hmm.
users, attendees, feel free to use opportunity. We are here in live. Ask it even if you like to ask anything else not connected with today's webinar. We can help you maybe one-on-one quickly. And I'm 100% sure the others are also interested for answers. But let's start,
Okay,
yes.
let's go. So Steve is asking, how does it work if I just want to draw a 2D top view plan of a building and environment? Sometimes I don't need height information. That one's
Okay,
easy, Steve.
cool, very good, Steve. Let me maybe share my screen.
Sure.
Uh, Very good, Mattia. Can you
Can
confirm
see.
it? Can you
Can
see
see.
it?
Yeah.
Okay, what I would do it. So let's see. We have this scenario, the same we had it before. What you can do if you would like to see this in 2D, combination of two buttons. So the first one is top down, where you force the top down view, and the second one, the ortho view, ortho mode. So you see, we first present you in the 3D model in perspective view that you have a better feeling of 3D. If you would like to have an ortho view, just click the this icon, and now you are looking orthometric on this one. And if we're doing this for the roads, so yes, the layer is right. You simply go then just top down like that. So you set up the right zoom for you. Uh,
And in combination with bounding box, you could.
exactly. So this is for the curves and maybe the center line or anything like that. This is kind of super easy and effective if you don't care about the height. Nevertheless, if you like to transform at the end all those cats to the zero level, Mattia already showed you this part. Then with the building, if you go, for example, here and take the ortho, maybe yes, you can see the corner of the building. Maybe another option with the ground orthophoto. The third option, turn off those two settings and use the bounding box before. So like right mouse click, you see on the top plane, you can move up and down. Okay. Right mouse click on the side one, you can go smaller with this one, like that. And let's focus just on a single building example here. From the button up, you can go like that. And let's say I want to have a first floor like so. I can just create me a slice view here, okay? And then top down, ortho. Okay, now I need to change also my background.
Good
Beautiful
for
is,
presentations, but
yeah,
maybe
beautiful.
not.
It's always not the best. So this is the full 3D survey presentation. And now I'm working on a mesh actually. Uh, Building layer. Mattia, do you know why it's not snapping? We don't know,
That's
huh?
funny.
It's too thin for the, let me see if I turn on the point cloud.
Maybe we just found a bug.
Maybe the triangles are too tight.
That's something to witness, huh?
We have the commentation, but okay, now we are with the points here.
Okay.
Okay, I will show this with the points now. So like that. So you just go and click. Here I don't have my interior corner as you saw it before. If I would help me with the defined plane, I can create it. Otherwise, I'm directly snapping on points or mesh. Okay. And in this way, I can extract the building footprint with the help of bounding box in addition, and then just turn off this one, turn off that one, reset view, and now I create the footprint on my third building object. And in this way, it's another option. Okay.
There's
Uh,
actually a few ways to go about this one.
yeah. Hopefully you have now the idea, and I'm sure you will figure out your own way also then in addition. But maybe even the first one for me is the most effective with the defined plane option. Even if you don't need the height, plane actually gives you opportunity that you draw any dimension out from the model, even if you don't have a point cloud data here, point cloud data there, or mesh data there.
That's also
So
a bonus.
that's super important to know. So you see, I can't draw it actually with my cat here where no data are. But if I go and define a plane here, I can go and play anywhere outside from the model, of if there is a hole in the model, with the help of play easily. And F8 gives me the perpendicular to my last line, and in this way extract it out perpendicular lines.
Yeah,
Oh,
it sounds maybe now a bit abstract, but it can quickly happen that you're missing part of a 3D model just where you would like to place a point, and this is great way to push your vectorization into spaces that were not reconstructed perfectly. So
exactly.
we got a thumb up from Steve. Thank you, Steve. So I think now we can move to the next one.
Okay.
Michael, is it possible to combine drone photos and ground photos, especially for ground orthophoto? Thank you. Great
Okay.
question, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. Yes, definitely it's possible. We already recorded a webinar how to do this in past. So what's here important, if you like to combine drone photos with photos taken from the, I don't know, person perspective, you need to get this perspective pretty close. So if you map perpendicular down, so 90 degrees nadir, and then like in a horizontal way, this is too much for the algorithm. So what you are going to do, fly with the drone a bit from the side, like camera angle, first 60 degrees, then 45 degrees, 30 degrees, and then add also photos with your phone camera or something like that. Even better, our advice is use drone camera, hold your drone in the hand and trigger cameras, because drone camera it's much better, much more powerful if you compare to phone camera. Even if the phone have like say 40 megapixels or anything, or 100 megapixels, the sensor size in phone camera it's 100 times smaller in comparison to the drone sensor. Okay, so my suggestion is, forget about the phone, do the mapping with drone, fly as slow as possible. Then if you're afraid to fly solo,
Yeah, turn on the.
turn off the propellers, grab the drone, hold it on your hand, and trigger manually photos with drone. And you will have the same camera in the model, so the calculation is faster, calculation is easier, a lot of math is behind, and it will just work perfectly. We did this number of times already.
Yeah. So there's another trick for you. Thank you, Marco. And I think this sort of answers also Stein's question. That was our ground pictures for orthophoto taken with a drone or a phone. So they were taken with a drone, not with the trick that Marco mentioned. It was
Mhm,
all in flying, but you can go a step
mhm.
further with your.
Maybe you can share the camera positions later on, if you still have
Um,
open this project, that they
yeah,
will
yeah, yeah.
see
I
from
have.
which position these were all captured. So if you have opportunities, trigger more images from different perspectives. The more images from different perspectives you have, the greater mesh result will be. So you can go really, really detailed. in it.
So yeah, if we check here, let's start from top down. So first there was sort of a grid mission, just going around with the drone. Then there's an ellipse or semicircles around the building. And for this final area, we're going, as Marco mentioned, step by step down. First under this angle, then this one, and we go even lower. So you have to gradually change your angles in order to images to be, connected and aligned to each other. And the last line was taken really, I don't know, this is what, maybe 3 meters.
3 meters, something
Uh,
like that.
let's not guess. We have a measurement tool
Yeah,
that
but
can
it's not
measure.
snapping. It's not snapping to cameras.
Yeah, but they're, on the level with this roof. So this roof
Ah,
is,
okay.
okay, let me increase um, the text size to 20. So 4 meters is this roof,
Mhm.
and it was just below this one. So 3.5, let's say 360. So yeah, this was quite daring flight, close to these trees, but it paid off. But anyway, you could also hold your drone and walk with it. Okay,
Mhm.
so that was that. But yes, it's also possible to combine phone, camera, or anything else. Okay, and now the next question from Michael. Is it possible to upload the projected CAD in 3D Survey Cloud? Very
Okay, this
simple.
is super easy question. Yes, it's possible. Maybe Mattia, you can show it on this one.
Oh yeah,
Not switch to the computer. So we have a new button now, the 3D Survey Cloud, which is getting
bam.
more powerful and powerful. You just simply select the first option. You see cat,
Yeah,
and that's it. When you go next, in this wizard,
very
you
good.
select what you would like to upload it. When you go next, you create your new project or select existing one and upload this data into cloud. And
Yeah,
you can have lines, points, circles, even contours. If you would like to import it up to the cloud, you can import them as a CAD data type. So first in contour tab, export the contours as a DXF, then go to
load
data,
them in.
load in CAD, import these contour lines. It's a big workaround again, but you can do it, okay? And you
But
can have,
anyways,
it
it
works.
will it will work even if you transform anything up and down. It will get uploaded to
Mm,
3D Survey Cloud. It works with the same
mm,
coordinate systems, so it will be on the location that is in the software. And I
exactly.
suggest we go forward with questions. They're still coming.
Okay, let's go.
So Ignaz is asking, are we able to transform a single layer of CAD data
Mm,
or only the
good.
entire CAD dataset?
Good question, Nats. Yes,
That's a
good
good one.
question. You're another Slovenians that ask us this. We had previous week a Smlednik event, and we figured out there that yes, we could maybe design this transform feature for cat a bit more in addition. So currently the transform moves the complete cat. So if you would like to transform just one layer of cat, you would need to save the cat, delete everything else, then your layer, transform it, load in the cat in this direction. Maybe as we'll upgrade in future also that when transforming the cat, you will be able to select which cat it is to
Yeah, I
transform
think
it.
Marco,
Not
it's
not sure, Zupan. Not sure, Zupan. What happens if we lock the cat layers down?
well, I must
Probably
say
we
I
didn't.
haven't
We
tried,
probably we didn't try it.
but I
Maybe this
think they go together.
they go
Um,
together. Okay, yes. This is maybe a worth to try it out. And yes,
yeah,
in the future we don't want to complicate it in this wizard too much, because if you have 20 CAD layers, here would be additionally open 20 CAD layers and everything, but it's
Yeah, but
possible to redesign it.
maybe we should, yeah, maybe we
Maybe
should
we
think
should.
about this one.
Yes,
Uh,
maybe this is a nice push to redesign this up a bit.
yeah,
Okay.
let me just try the
So
lock.
thank you for your
So,
question, Nats.
yeah, I will now transform my CAD data 10 meters up in height, and let's see what happens. The red layer is locked, and where is the red layer? Uh, oh, I also turned it off. Yeah, but I think it transformed just as well. So even if you lock it, it does
Mm-hmm.
transform. So I think we will look into upgrading this tool,
Mm-hmm.
but let's not promise it too early.
Okay.
But there is a workaround. So, okay, let us now go to Wes. When you brought the points at elevation 0 up to the mesh, are the points new elevations dictated by surface or are they all the same? So, if
Mm-hmm.
I understand this
Yes.
question,
So yes, the elevations are dictated by surface. Okay,
mhm,
so we just check from the top-down perspective, where the point or line vertex is going to the mesh, and it gets the mesh height. Okay,
yes,
if there is a hole in a mesh, we have some approximation algorithms which try to calculate the perfect line. Depends how the line is going. So if you have before mesh and after mesh, it will be kind of a straight line or something like that.
yeah.
Okay.
So if you're worried that it will go on average level, it's as long as it has some mesh information, it will align to mesh. But
Hmm.
out here where the mesh is missing, and perhaps that's no longer your area of interest, it will go to the average value of the height of this surface. But
Hmm.
within it, it will align as much as possible.
Hmm. Yeah. So to get the perfect results, it's great that the complete cat it's inside of your mesh surface.
Exactly.
But
Okay.
even if it's not, and this is not important for you, you get a good approximation so that you can see it. So the main idea of this was first for the catastrophe boundaries, if you have a hilly terrains or something like that, because then with a cat, on a plane, you can't see where the boundary is running. So we have a really nice example where cat to mesh feature solves the project in a second, you can easily see it. Or another example is sometimes surveyors they get the underlay from the construction site on a zero elevation, and they would like to attach it to the exact height or something like that. No, you can do it, this one. Check it out,
Uh,
definitely.
okay, moving forward. Sam Shepard is asking, what is the photo limit in 3D survey? Our PC is struggling with 6800, and then
Okay.
there's a specs, which is quite a good PC. So GPU 470 titanium and 128 gigs of RAM and CPU Ryzen
Okay.
9950X.
Definitely, I would say the perfect setup for 3D survey. You are definitely struggling with the first step, bundle adjustment. We are aware about this one and we are currently improving. October is the deadline for this one. I would say you will get the result for 600, 8,000 images, but it will take probably 5 to 7 days to your computer. So extremely long. It depends
Yeah,
also what kind of overlap you have it here, but you will get the result. Then the point cloud and mesh calculation shouldn't be that long. You will probably process 200 or 300 images per hour on a high level, on a medium level, twice or triple faster. Okay, so bit patient for the bundle adjustment, I would say. But yes, it's our work to do it. We will improve this.
Yeah, and maybe if it's not 100% necessary that it's all in the same project, you could do it with, two or three hundred, two
Hmm.
thousand images, so, or in three
Hmm.
projects, and then
Yeah,
combine the point clouds.
exactly. So splitting this project on a two for 3005 images would probably speed up the complete process for quite a lot. From in our office, the maximum number I believe was 10,000 images we processed in a single batch. But yes, it takes some time.
It's
It's
not recommended.
Yeah, it's not recommended. So the
Yet.
perfect scenario, I would say right now, it's between up to 3,000 images in single batch. It's a perfect scenario. 5,000 images, it can handle it even, but then 5 to 10, it's more tricky.
Okay, thank you, Marco. And now we're going back to the drone with Sasha. He's asking if there's a problem if drone loses the RTK location when you're triggering it from hand.
Actually, as long we have good data written in telemetry, so this means if the drone loses RTK connection and in the telemetry it's written that this is not a centimeter accurate high position, that this is 5 meter accuracy, it's not a problem for the software. We handle all this. The images with the good telemetry, with the accurate telemetry, will be more important for for orientation than images with the worst telemetry, and this works perfectly nice. So I believe there shouldn't be any problems. What we know from the DJI, maybe the most popular drones, sometimes they set the flying height wrongly. So if you fly on a 80 meters, you get the AGL written like 10 meters or something like that. Then the bundle adjustment it's not calculated successfully, and usually this is the case. Then you just go to telemetry data, correct them to the exact fly you were flying, so 80-meter, and everything works normally. So maybe the best feedback for you is if you're not able to solve by yourself those problems, write it to support. We'll help you within a day with these things, no problem.
Okay, thank you for this one. And now we go to Greece. Sorry, I can't read your alphabet. But let's see. I tried to combine the way to point flight close to the facade photo with the gimbal angle at 30 degrees, but for a reason the software did not manage to combine to the initial double grid flight of 90 degrees. Are there any special settings to this flight? So
Okay,
you
very good.
mainly covered this one, but
No, I mainly covered, but another one depends also the building, the building texture. If the building it's fully white with no texture, all the building it's fully covered with glass, where the texture for photogrammetry is super tricky, I would advise you to fly first a bit more away from the building, at least 10 meters. Don't go to 3 meters because with 3 meters you get in a picture a white part of the building, and in some cases the picture will be fully white or something like that. Okay,
or
and
reflections from window,
or
which is
reflections
also
from
bad.
window and so all this stuff, and this is super hard for the software, but with the right mapping you can solve this easily. So my suggestion is, Dimitrios, send us this data set on support. We will do the processing and come back to you with advice. Maybe we can solve this project. In most cases we solve it, we increase the, I don't know, feature value, feature number value or something, or intensity, how we search. But if not, we can definitely give you advice how to repeat the
Next.
project or work it next time.
Okay, and then we go once again to Ignaz. Are we able to upload selected layers only to cloud? So similar as transform, I would say, where
Hmm.
you can only work on the CAD
Hmm.
as a whole.
Hmm.
Um,
Exactly. Thank you, Zupan, for answer it. So yes, we uploaded the complete cat.
so something to think about.
Something to think about, yes. Nats, you know the software very well and you have always hard questions to answer.
Okay, now we go back to Steve. I see there's a lot of recurring questions. Would it be possible to add video data or video extracted pictures in combination with drone pictures, for example, flight mission with Matrix 4, in combination with video data of a DJI Osmo or Insta360 cam?
Would be possible, but what I would suggest you use the 3D Survey side scan app, record the videos with your phone. It's going to be much better than these fisheye cameras with a lot of distortion.
Yeah,
So,
maybe let's remind you
mm,
of
and when you map, when you record the video with 3D Survey side scan app, we also write the position of your GPS device into the video. So then you have two options. You use our RTK videogrammetry module and use these positions, or you work with the standard 3D survey with all those positions. But it works in both way. Of course, if you have the model, it's more powerful. But yes, I will check out this device, okay? And what you
yeah,
can do in addition, you can add an accurate RTK antenna to your phone if you like to do that way. And then you have a perfect mapping tool which you can hold in your hands for specific scenarios. And for here, the cheapest one antenna, it's Ardo Simple. I believe it costs about 400 euros.
let me
If
check.
you have already the existing ones like MLIT RX, MLIT RX2, or I don't know, other brands like Leica, like Topcon, in some cases, we write it here. You can attach them to your phone, preset it once, and then super easy to use. Check out our RTK module.
Yeah,
Absolutely. And then you
there's a
can
link in
combine
the
this,
comments.
yeah, and then you can combine this with your drone with no problem.
Okay, great. That was Steve. So, is it possible to undo some steps like undo button in other programs?
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah,
Anatolia? Yeah.
we currently in CAT, you don't have any undo.
Hmm.
So what's clever to do, save your cat data every half an hour if if you're doing your cat for 3 hours or something like that. But yes, we are looking for solution in the future. We will add there some opportunities. Absolutely. You have undo and redo in point cloud if you're deleting points, but nothing cat.
Yeah, we know this is quite a pain, so we are addressing it, and we'll come up with something. But yeah, for
And
now.
you will tell us if this is good or not. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, we are at our last questions. Michal, do you have any plan to release 3D survey to MacBook Pro? So Apple
Mm,
OS, Mac
nice.
OS support?
Michal, thank you for questions. So we just in previous release we released Linux version. So this is now supported with the Mac or Mac OS. It's much more difficult regarding the algorithms and all the infrastructure. So it's not definitely planned in the closest releases. But we are getting there slowly, slowly, slowly. I believe
Take
as
around
a
some.
user, yeah, as a viewer, this would be possible to do it. but for the processing on a GPU, it's a longer story, definitely.
Yeah, the GPU processing is right
Mm.
now
Yeah,
the
we are we
hardest.
are we are tied with the NVIDIA CUDA algorithms, like all other photogrammetry softwares. And yes, let's see where the future will bring us. Definitely not in this year or something like that.
Yeah, Michal, that's a good laptop, but yeah, we have problem of the
Mm,
Mac OS is not very friendly with conversing with CUDA and other NVIDIA
mm,
um,
mm.
platforms. So yeah,
So for
we
now,
are
3D survey cloud for now works on Mac to showing to viewing the result, but yes, with processing, no luck.
yeah we're looking into it, but yeah, it will take a bit more time. So thank you, everybody. I've got to the end of our questions. If you missed part of this webinar, you'll get it in the mail and you can rewatch it again. And if you have some more questions, send them to support. We'll also see them there. And well, thank you for today. And I hope you like this. I hope you got something useful out of it. And see you next time. Marco?
Okay. Thank you, Mattia. You closed it very nicely up. Thank you for your patience. Hopefully, you learned something new or you remember again something. And we are next week, next month again with another webinar. Stay tuned, check our webpage, social medias, everything like that, and write us if you would like to know something, if you like to learn something new, or if you would just like to say something to us. Thank you
Uh,
very much and see you again.
yeah, maybe if you're in South Africa next week, you can
Oh,
see Marco. And
okay.
if you're in London the week after that, you can meet me and Tomasz and Reed at
Mm,
your business. So
okay.
see you
Yeah.
there, maybe.
Yes. And yes, discuss one on one.
Yeah,
Thank you again. Thank you, Mattia. Wish you all a
no
good
fear.
day. Bye bye.
Bye bye, guys. Ciao.
Bye.